Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and in today's video we're going to be checking out some incredibly spicy battles in the Open Great League featuring Shadow MOLTRES. MOLTRES is a fire and flying type Pokemon with the moveset of Wing Attack, Legacy Sky Attack, and Overheat. Now Shadow MOLTRES is extremely glassy, which makes it very difficult to run. However, it can output a tremendous amount of damage. I went full spice with the team and paired it up with a Hakamoho and a Dunsparce, and was able to almost go positive around the 2900s. So without further ado, let's hop into the matches and check out Shadow MOLTRES in action in the Great League. Hopping into the first match, leading Shadow MOLTRES into Cofagrigus. Not the most comfortable lead ever, because Shadow MOLTRES is so glassy. I'm farming up to the Overheat, and I'm going to bait with the Sky Attack. Sky Attack gets the shield, I'm going to farm up, switch, and catch what I'm hoping is a Dark Pulse onto Hakamoho. And it is, let's go. My opponent actually choosing to stay in this matchup, and now they're going to fire the neutral move of Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball is going to get me low, but I'm perfectly fine with taking this. The entire goal of Hakamoho and Dunsparce in the back is I have two anti-steals, but also some bulky Pokemon, so I can hopefully save my shields for Moltres. I'm going to send in Moltres. Moltres gets the farm down. My opponent sends in a Registeel. I have the shield advantage. I'm not baiting. I'm going straight for the Overheat. Overheat one-shots the Registeel in the back. They have Swampert. Moltres not done. Going for a debuffed Overheat number 2. Overheat still does half of Swampert's health, and I can send in Dunsparce, and this game is over. That is absolutely unreal damage from Shadow MOLTRES. Dunsparce is going to fire off the Drill Run. Drill Run is going to get the shield. At this point, my opponent's only win con is hoping that I go for the 2 shield flex and no shield the Earthquake. So I will shield up the Earthquake, and then I can very safely fire off the Drill Run. Drill Run will be taking care of the Swampert, and that is a good game. Picking up a great lead in the next match, Shadow MOLTRES into Medicham. This is a dominant matchup. Opponent is going to save switch into Altaria, and I have a great response available with Dunsparce. Dunsparce is going to farm up. Altaria will strike first, going for the Sky Attack. Sky Attack, not going to do a ton of damage, and I'm going to continue to farm. I will be able to reach the back-to-back Rock Slides before they make it to their next move. Rock Slide number 1, able to land. I'll overfarm slightly, and then go for my next move. This should just about KO if they let it through. Opponent commits the shield. They're looking for switch, but they make a mistake. They throw on alignment, giving me a free rollout, and now I can absolutely keep switch advantage. I'm just going to farm up to the back-to-back Rock Slides here, and if my opponent shields, they're going to lose switch anyway. They commit the shield, hoping the Dragon Breath is going to KO, but it will not. Rock Slide KOs Altaria, and things are looking great until they send out Azumarill. This entire team was built around the idea that Azu is a lot less common this season, so I can run a team weak to it and be fine. But here it is, and I'm in a lot of trouble. Moltres able to land the Sky Attack. I continue to farm. They're going to grab my final shield with an Ice Beam. I need to try and farm up a decent amount of energy here on the Moltres. Opponent goes for a catch onto Medicham. Moltres overfarming as much as I dare, and I'm going for the Sky Attack. This will one-shot the Medicham. In comes the Azu. I have to hope this is Sky Attack range. Come on, Moltres. Moltres, Sky Attack, KOs the Azu, and secures the win. Tough lead in the next match, Shadow MOLTRES into Deoxys. Deoxys is another massive core breaker for this team, so I'm going to stay in the lead and play it out. They fire after 7 counters. This very well could be a double super effective Rock Slide, so I'm forced to burn a shield. I'm going to massively overfarm and bait with a Sky Attack, hoping my opponent is going to respect it with a shield. Sky Attack gets the shield. Moltres wins CMP on the Overheat. Are they willing to give up their second shield here? They are not, and they get one shot. In comes Dragonair, and I make a massive mistake. I meant to pivot into the Dunsparce, but I bring in my hard counter of Hakamoho, and then I'm immediately met with a Charm Alolan Ninetales. So right after that incredible start to the match, a misclick causes disaster to strike, and now I need Dunsparce to clutch for me. Dunsparce farming up, going for the Rock Slide. This Rock Slide will KO, but I'm going to need to reach 3 Drill Runs versus the Shadow Dragonair, and unfortunately, I think I just get outpaced here. I'm farming up, going for Drill Run number 1, but Dragonair just has too much energy here. Dragonair able to fire off their first charge move, and they are not far off their second. They go for Body Slam number 1 and Body Slam number 2. and unfortunately, we are going to lose the game. Great lead in the next match, Shadow Moltres into another Medicham. You absolutely love to see it. Opponent is going to save switch into Galarian Weezing, so they are running some serious spice. I'm going to stay in with Moltres, fire off the Sky Attack to deal a ton of damage or grab a shield. I get the shield, and now I'm going to send in Dunsparce. Dunsparce has a ton of bulk, so I'm going to be able to absorb whatever they throw here. They go for the Brutal Swing, that's fine by me. They're going for the Overheat. Overheat will hit for some heavy neutral damage, but with the bulk of Dunsparce, I am able to hang on, and I'm very close to the back-to-back drill runs. Going for drill run number 1, that's going to get them low. I'm a little worried I can't farm down, so just to be safe, I'm going to fire off drill run number 2. That is going to be getting rid of the Weezing. Opponent can send back in the Medicham to farm down, but I can wait my clock, and now our clocks will be back even. I'm going to send in the Moltres. They're going to grab a shield with the Ice Punch, and then we'll have to see what they have in the back here. Ice Punch gets the shield in the back. They have Noctowl, and that's not what Hakamo was looking to see. I'm going to farm up and fire off the Sky Attack bait on the CMP tie. Sky Attack gets the shield, and now Moltres is primed to sweep. I will commit the shield on the Sky Attack. I'm going to farm up and then go for the Overheat on the CMP tie as they reach their second Sky Attack. This Overheat will be taking care of the Noctowl. In comes the Medicham. I'm going to bank the Overheat, send in Hakamo to reset my debuff because I want to deal some massive damage here. They go for the Psychic. Hakamo barely able to hang on and reach the Dragon Claw. I don't even need this damage, but I'm throwing it anyway because we have the Overheat loaded. Shadow Moltres will get the massive overkill, getting rid of the Medicham, and that is a good game. Nightmare lead in the next match, Shadow Moltres into Lantern. This is absolutely terrible. I'm going to save switch into Hakamo, and my opponent responds with a Frostlass. This is a matchup where Hakamo can potentially make a play for switch. Dragon Claw is going to be no-shielded, and just like that, as long as I shield whatever they throw here, I can control switch advantage. That is quite nice. I'm going to fire off the Dragon Claw before they make their second Avalanche. Let's see, are they willing to fight for switch in this matchup? They are not, and down goes Frostlass. What do they have in the back? They're not going to bring back in the Lantern. They're going to send in Noctowl. I'm going to farm up here and go for the Dragon Claw. Dragon Claw going to do some solid chip damage, but of course, Noctowl can tank it and continue to farm. Noctowl leaves with a ton of energy. I basically just have to sacrifice the Shadow Moltres here and trust in Dunsparce to win this game. Sky Attack gets me low. Opponent over farming quite a bit. They go for a catch onto Lantern, and that is a costly mistake by them. They could have just thrown, gotten rid of Moltres, but they overfarmed, and now they let me get to a move. And Moltres wins CMP versus both of their remaining Pokemon. They go for the Thunderbolt. Dunsparce continuing to farm up here. Dunsparce going for the Drill Run, and Drill Run is going to be grabbing a shield here as the opponent is going to try and commit to the Water Gun farm down, and they have unfortunate timing, giving me a free rollout. That is quite nice. Dunsparce continuing to farm, applying a lot of pressure onto the Lantern. Are they willing to give up their final shield here? No, they are not. They are trusting in the Noctowl. Noctowl loses CMP to Dunsparce, and I'm actually going to be able to win this game as I have the Sky Attack loaded on my Shadow Moltres. They have the back-to-back moves, but Moltres does not care, easily winning CMP. Moltres takes out the Noctowl as we're able to get the win. Tricky lead in the next match, Shadow Moltres into another Deoxys. Same game plan as before, I'm going to stay in here and play it out. But my opponent does not want to let that happen, as they're going to be firing off a Psycho Boost. Psycho Boost will grab a shield. I'm going to send in Moltres. Moltres going for the Overheat, but I accidentally farmed one too much and play into a CMP tie. That is not the best. Overheat is going to get the shield. I will shield back, and then I'm going to try and catch a Night Slash here. So I am going to farm up with Moltres, switch into Dunsparce, and I am able to catch the Night Slash. That is quite nice. Night Slash not going to do a lot of damage here. And at the very least, I've saved energy on the Shadow Moltres for later in the game. I'm going for the Rock Slide. Rock Slide is going to land. They will be able to make it to an Earthquake. Earthquake, this is going to be close. Can Dunsparce hang on here? Earthquake onto the Dunsparce. Dunsparce able to hang on, and I'm hoping my opponent shields here. I need shields down, but my opponent wisely saves their shields, and that's going to put me in a very tough spot. In comes the Deoxys. I'm going to send in Hakamo. They're going to fire off the Psycho Boost. This will hit for super effective damage, and we'll have to see what they have in the back here. They have Guzzlord in the back, and unfortunately, this is going to be game over for me. I fire off the Dragon Claw. They know they can no-shield that. I can go for the Sky Attack, but they can comfortably shield, make it to the Dragon Claw, and Dragon Claw is going to be KOing my Moltres. So unfortunately, their Spice Pick is going to take out mine, and that is a good game. Great lead in the next match. Shadow Moltres into Trevenant. Let's go. Opponent is going to save switch into a Bastiodon, which will immediately be met with Dunsparce. Bastiodon is an extremely inflexible Pokemon, making it a pretty terrible save switch, as in bad matchups, there's not a lot it can do to try and flip switch. They're going to tank that Drill Run, fire off the Stone Edge, but Stone Edge just does not do a lot of damage. Dunsparce able to farm up to back-to-back Drill Runs, and now, if they want to try and make a play for Switch, they're going to have to commit both shields. They shield once, and they're going to have to shield twice as Dunsparce wins CMP. Drill Run gets the shield. Bastiodon's only hope is that I choose to let this go, but I'm perfectly fine with shielding once here, because this way I can guarantee I win Switch advantage and shield advantage from the Bastiodon. Drill Run says bye-bye to Bastiodon. Back in comes the Trevenant, and Trevenant will be met with that Moltres in the back. They have Medicham, so they were absolutely core broken by Shadow Moltres. Opponent was ABA weak to flying, switched in their only counter, and now they are in a terrible situation. Shadow Moltres, Sky Attack, KOing the Medicham. In comes the Trevenant, and we're going for the Bad Manners Overheat. Hello, Trevenant. Goodbye, Trevenant. And that is a good game. Tough lead in the next match, Shadow Moltres into Galarian Stunfisk. For this matchup, I'm going to throw 5 wing attacks and try and catch onto Hakamo-o. I farm up, switch, and I'm able to make the catch. Let's go. Rock Slide is going to be resisted onto Hakamo-o. My opponent is going to stay in here as they're looking to farm up some energy with the Stunfisk, and now they're going to send in Defense Deoxys. Not a Pokemon I was hoping to see, but at the very least, I am able to bait out the counter user, so that way my Dunsparce will not have to see it in the end game. I'm going to be firing off Dragon Claw. Dragon Claw is able to land. Deoxys continues to farm. Deoxys will go for the Psycho Boost here. That is easily going to KO, but now they are debuffed. So I'm going to send in Moltres and look to farm up a ton of energy here. They're going to be firing off a double debuffed Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt, even when debuffed, is nearly able to KO. Moltres gets the farm down. In comes Galarian Stunfisk. I'm going for the Sky Attack bait, hoping for the shield. I get the shield. Stunfisk looking for the farm down, but I'm going for the overheat. Do they respect the damage? They do not! Down goes Stunfisk, and they have Noctowl in the back, and Dunsparce will absolutely destroy in this endgame. They go for the Sky Attack. Dunsparce shrugs off the damage and is going to return fire with a Rock Slide. Rock Slide will hit for substantial damage, so we do see a shield from the Noctowl. Noctowl continuing to farm, but Noctowl cannot escape the wrath of Dunsparce. Rock Slide lands. Opponent sees the writing on the wall and concedes the match. Tough lead in the next match, Shadow Moltres into Sableye. I'm going to farm up 6 wing attacks and try and catch a foul play onto Hakamo-o. I'm farming up here, go for the catch, it's a simultaneous switch, they bring in a Zubaril, and I concede the match. Hopping into the final match, leading Shadow Moltres into Trevenant. Opponent save switches into a Drapion, and odds are this is going to be a Bastiodon in the back. And if that's the case, then this Drapion is running Crunch and Aqua Tail, which means they are fully walled by Hakamo-o. Hakamo-o is going to be able to tank Crunch after Crunch in this matchup. They end up going for the Aqua Tail, and I'm going to fire off a Dragon Claw just before they're able to make it to their next move. Dragon Claw is going to KO. Opponent is going to be sending back in the Trevenant, hoping that they've baited out my only response to a Bastiodon. Hakamo-o able to make Dragon Claw number 1, hoping to make it to a second here. We'll have to see. Hakamo-o farming up, just short of making it to another move. In comes Moltres. Opponent is going to be firing off a Shadow Ball here. Moltres commits the shield. In the back, it's Bastiodon. Bastiodon met with the overheat from Moltres. Massive damage. In comes Dunsparce. Opponent sees the writing on the wall and concedes the match. Shadow Moltres, due to its extreme glassiness, is not a Pokemon that I would recommend for climbing by any means, but it was an insane amount of fun to run, especially pairing it with two pretty anti-meta picks in Hakamo and Dunsparce. The team itself, when it was able to get wins, was just so much fun, and Moltres, man, if you can get shields down, the damage it can do is just absolutely unreal. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And a special thank you as always to our members here on YouTube. The support you guys provide is absolutely incredible. So thank you guys oh so very much. And until next time, I've been HomeSliceHenry.